Hey, we're trying again. Hey, everyone. We are back. One of the things that I want to do is grab the new stream and go ahead and post it in the old
Hello, everybody.
stream that we lost.
Hey guys, are we live yet?
Hey, John, we are live.
We are live, yeah.
Awesome. What happened? As soon as I came in, I got a thing that says broadcast ended.
Yeah, it's all your fault. You came in the room and ended the broadcast.
Oh,
I don't know.
my
I don't know
God.
if it was your fault. It just happened, but here we are.
Probably was my fault. I do apologize. I needed to make a grand entrance. You know me. Come on. I needed to do that today. Sorry
Well
if
done.
okay, let me see. You know what? I think it was me.
I mean, it might have been, but I wasn't going to call you out on it.
All
We're
right.
all good. We're here now.
All right. Yeah, so we're all here, guys. Thank
Tom,
you for
too much awesomeness. We broke the internet. That's right, Tom.
I think we did, Tom. I mean, as soon as just Donna came in, because since she wasn't here last week, so I said, okay, that's a strike one. And as soon as I tried to come in, boom, the whole thing just fell apart. So I guess we did broke the internet for like 30 seconds. Hey guys, so it's always a pleasure. Now we're seeing a lot of live viewers. So welcome to day 8. Let me just show my screen really quickly. Let's see here. And let me just do in presentation mode. I guess you all can see my screen, right, guys? Just let me know that we can see my screen.
I can see it.
Awesome. So today we have quite of a different day. Today we're going to talk about news and updates, of course. We're going to present our essay winner. And then we're going to just set the pace for the stored showcase, because now that is the second part of the actual challenge. So what we're going to be doing is making sure that you all follow the instructions, make sure that you submit your stores, because there's going to be a winner. And then, of course, most of the day today is going to be QA. We're going to be doing a couple of things that we want you to drive today, pretty much. You're going to be letting us know what questions they're still lingering for your stores. And Donna and I will kind of replicate the issue that you're having, so we can just get started and answer questions. David, thank you. Sorry I didn't say hi, guys. I was just too excited to be here. I had to restart my computer because last week we had a little mishap. So I said, let me restart it without being really aware of what time it was. So please pardon my being late.
It's always when you think, oh, I'll just restart my computer really quick, and then an update happens.
I just pressed the button at 5:59 and I go like, crap. I get started in a minute and I didn't let you guys know. So thanks, guys, for being there. So as I mentioned today, guys, we're going to just have a couple of news and updates, and of course presenting the winner. And I think I'm going to let Mrs. Donna Fox do the honors. Let me just move the slide. Let me just move into this presentation mode here. I forgot the trick that you actually showed me. It was actually in the view.
Which one? Yeah.
A slideshow.
So you can.
Yes.
Yep. There you go.
Awesome. So we're talking about the news and updates, the essay winner, the stored showcase, and most of the day today we're gonna be. For the next hour and a half, we're gonna do QA questions and any kind of just tie up any kind of loose ends that you guys might have. So without further ado, the essay winner is Mrs. Christine Case.
Yay! This is one of those times where we need one of those soundboards that can
we need to
give
get
a round of applause and a drum roll and all that other cool, fun stuff that we would have if we were a real broadcast.
All right. So, Mrs. Christine Case, you're going to be my next victim. My next showcase for the next time when we do the actual stores. You're going to be one-on-one working with me as well as Donna and David, so we can just make sure that due to the fact that your essay was the most compelling one, you earned that right. Right, Donna?
That's right. Very, very excited to work with you, Christine.
Awesome. For anybody else that did not make the cut, we will try to figure out a way to, help you guys out still.
There's another round in 8 weeks.
Exactly. So
yeah,
there is another round. So without just congratulations again, Christine. So I wanted to do something, and maybe Donna will definitely just is Christine today with us? Yes, Christine
She
is
is.
here. So David and Donna, would it be a good idea if we introduce Christine to everybody today? Christine, would you be okay to kind of just speak with us, not necessarily on camera, but if you
If
want
you
to
want
say
to come
hi?
in on camera, say yes, and we can. Dave will shoot you a link so that you can join us. But if you don't, let us know. That's okay too. I know we're not all camera ready at all times. Believe me, I know that only too well.
And let's just wait for Christine what she says. Let's give her a couple of minutes. I know she must be just excited and happy and scared at all the same time. Is one of those things that your name and we're not gonna put we're not gonna put one of those Miss Universe moments that we announce somebody else is like, hey, sorry, no, actually you didn't win. You're the princess. No, we're not gonna pull any of that stuff. I don't know if you guys remember that because I remember it dearly because what was the name of the presenter? Harvey, this guy Harvey. I don't remember exactly the name, but he was actually Miss Colombia and it happened to be with, Colombian. So I took that to heart when he had to come back and say, sorry, Miss Colombia, you didn't win. Actually, Miss Philippines win. So
That
that
is
was,
just terrible.
and
Like
that,
poor
that,
La La Land. When
oh
La
yeah.
La Land thought that they won and they didn't, it was some other movie for the Oscar.
Yeah.
It's
And
just,
thanks,
you have
Tom.
one
Yeah.
job, just announce the winner, just get it
Yeah.
right.
And actually, thanks, Tom. Tom Beal actually said it's Steve
Oh, it
Harvey.
was
Yes,
Steve
so it
Harvey.
was Steve Harvey. So Tom, thank you very much. Pleasure and an honor to have you here. So if you want to jump on as well, hey,
So
let's
for
join the
those of you
party.
that are just joining us for the first time, let's talk a little bit about the Groovekart challenge. And while we're waiting for Christine to get our link and join us, and I'll tell you what Christine won as an essay winner. So our Groovekart challenge is an 8-week long process where we go through step by step from scratch and help someone build their store. So on this very first round, it was our first one. We're getting the kinks out of our own system and our own training. So I was the guinea pig, so that we could really just test the process and make sure we had it right. And now we're about to start our second round, where so we did an essay contest that started last week, and Christine submitted her essay. Among a number of people, we had chosen the top, I think it was 4, maybe 5. We chose the top 4 or 5 essays that we thought were worth considering and posted them to the group. And Christine's essay won. So Christine, we are going to bring you into the stream right now. Just giving you a little fair warning. And let's go to the screen right here.
All right.
How about that? There we go. Hi,
Hello,
Christine.
Christine. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I'm super excited for you. So next week, we'll get started with Christine and working directly with her every week for 8 weeks on this webinar on her store. Everyone is welcome to start along, to follow along on the next challenge. And what we do is, well, unfortunately, Christine, this means you aren't eligible for the challenge prize. You got the grand prize, which is working directly with us. At the end of the 8-week circuit, we will award a prize to the store that we think is the best one, that worked the hardest and got their store ready and up and running. And that decision is entirely John and my to make. So next, we're about to wrap up this first round and start taking in some links to people's stores so that we can declare a winner. But if you're interested in joining the next round, be here, same time, same place, a week from today to start week number 1 of the next Groovekart Challenge round.
Right. Actually, Donna is not next.
Oh, is it 2 weeks?
I see 2 weeks because remember, next week we're picking the winner for the actual store showcase.
It's going to take all week.
Yeah, we gotta build it up. I mean, we gotta build it up. We need to make sure that a lot of people actually submit their stores, those that were shy enough not to write an essay. So we can get that done for them. We can just secure the showcase. We can show everybody what they've been working on, and of course, pick a winner at the end of the week. Um, and now, Christine, congratulations. You'll be working with me directly. We're going to be sharing a lot of emails. We're going to get a lot of input for pretty much all the professionals that work with us, especially Donna, myself, and of course, all of the dev team might be at your disposal literally, because we want to make sure that your story is kind of the flagship for these very course that we're, now closing up today. So what do you say? What do you think? Well, just tell us what are your goals, and what is your a big idea, so we can just move forward.
My first thing, thank you so very much for this opportunity. You don't know how I'm overwhelmed with this opportunity. Very grateful to you, and it brings tears to me because of my past. So at my age, taking something on this big is amazing. So I really thank you for this opportunity.
Well, and
my goal is to have.
No, go for it. I was about to ask about your goal.
I think I would like to do is a store in honor for my husband, who was a firefighter, and he loves being a firefighter, but he had to give it up because of his health. So we are working together in doing a store that is all firefighter. So we're starting off with T-shirts and trying to go from there. So any input would be just amazing. I had started on my own cart and was doing jewelry. But when he started getting interested, he got his own account. I started playing, and I saw that maybe I need to just focus on him this time. And that's what I'm going to do.
That is so awesome. I love it. I think it takes a very special kind of person to run towards danger. So thank him so much for being one of those very special people. And I can't wait to see your store develop.
Thank you.
I mean, I cannot say it better. I think that one of the biggest niches and markets that need a lot of love right now is first responders and firemen, and not to sound altruistic in any shape, way, or form, but that's how we help them to be recognized, while we help ourselves to make something better. And being that your husband actually was in the forefront, and he knows the struggles that firemen today have to live with. So I think it will be a great opportunity to not only showcase products, but also tell your story. It will be a great team that you do the e-commerce aspect, but your husband can actually just probably mention in a couple of posts, or mention a couple of products that he has an input for. We have a lot of fear responding policemen, firemen, ATM services. So if you tell a little bit of his story within your products, that will take you a long way, and that will be the signature that you would put in each product. So I'm so glad that you were the winner, because I read your essay, and the first line kind of got me. This is in a personal comment. Winston Churchill is one of my favorite historical figures, and you were completely right. So it is one of those things. So congratulations. Now, thank you for being on camera. I know that it's not for a lot of people, but guys, this will be your motivation. This will certainly be like, hey, I want to be there in next week. So I want to see that excitement, because starting a new business, especially from the point that Christine is starting, is a great step for a lot of people. And I follow somebody named Gary Vaynerchuk, and Tom Beal actually have said it before. You gotta take a risk. You gotta make a difference. Find your story, find your voice, and make it happen. So again, Christine, congratulations. I know it's gonna be a pleasure. So you're gonna be hearing from me soon. We're gonna be sharing a lot of emails, maybe phone calls, and of course, we're gonna just take it step by step. Okay. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Don't forget to come next week for the price announcements for the site. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Christine.
All right. Have a good one. And say hi to your husband for us, please.
That's so exciting.
That was incredible. And you know what? That was one of those things that is never expected, especially when we do these things live. And mad respect to Christine's husband. and we will definitely just make sure that they get a very nice store. So he's going to be working with me directly, and of course with you, Donna, and with everybody else in the team. Now let's move on. Now
All right.
let's get to the other part. Let me just share my screen again. Uh, can I share my screen again? Okay. Donna, how do I
Yeah,
share my screen?
it's being shared. It's just there.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So, Christine, congratulations one last time. Let's move forward. Now, the store showcase. I know we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I just gonna screenshot a couple of our stores, and I know that the person that owns one of the stores in the background, she's here today. I am not gonna say her name, but I just saw her name scrolled up. So we're gonna have the showcase. We're gonna have next week. We're gonna announce the big winner. So, guys, in the next slide, I am going to show you a link, and in that same link, David it's going to share that in the comments, and we are going to be taking your your submissions. So just make sure that you submit your store, and remember, we have all the recordings from the previous 7 weeks, and not only from the 7 weeks, but most of the material that we have in the Groovekart Academy, the Groove Digital Academy, we have two sections, one for Groove Funnels and for Groovekart. So go back to those videos, polish your website, and then submit it. Who knows? Maybe you can win a couple of the big prizes. So with that said, David, do we have the link that I have it in my slide right here?
I'm dropping it in the group. I got it.
Awesome. So look for this post for Mrs. Donna Fox right here. Look for this post, and that's where you can comment and add your store. Right, Donna? Is that the
that
whole,
is correct.
Dynamic?
Yep. Show us your store. The only thing you have to drop in there is a link to your Groovekart store. Now, very specifically, we're talking about Groovekart stores here, not Groove Sell, not a Groove page with a Groove Sell link. It's got to be a Groovekart print on demand or drop ship store, or even your own personal items, but created through Groovekart to be eligible for this this prize.
Right. So just be careful when you do submissions. We don't want to see any other stuff that is not Groovekart. So be aware of that.
How long are we going to give them the post? What do you think? Till maybe Tuesday? Then we can review on Wednesday?
Yeah, Tuesday, review Wednesday, and we announce the winner on Thursday.
End of day Tuesday. Linny asks, was there not a second and third place winner for the contest? There will be a first, second, and third place winner of the store contest, but not of the essay. The essay contest was just to determine who was going to get to work with us for the next 8 weeks. So we could only work with one person, or we chose to only work with one person for that. So the essay contest, just one winner. And the Groovekart store, we're going to have at least 3 winners, maybe more.
Correct. And so with that said, don't forget, click on the link, look for that post right here, and submit your store. I think that will be, for us, for Donna and I, will be one of those things that we have to review a lot of things. But what we need to do is for you guys to participate. Show us, as we said when we were kids, if I show you mine, you show me yours. So let us know your stuff. Let us see what you have done so far. And who knows, you might be the winner. So now moving forward, let's just do for the next hour, since we kind of hit it on the nose for the 30 minutes, let's just do Q&A. So we haven't done Q&A in a couple of weeks, like a full session of Q&A. So this will be the great opportunity for everybody to get their questions ready. So while Mrs. Donna Fox opened her store, and we can actually just use her store, since it's being the last day of the showcase, so we can point out a couple of things and make sure that all the questions are addressed. So David, if you have questions so far, we can talk about the questions. I don't see any questions
yet. I didn't see any questions yet. I'm frantically trying to open my store.
Yeah, at this moment I didn't see any questions come up. So guys, in case you have any questions, please pop them in the comment section. I've seen a lot of questions in the Facebook group, but not on this live stream at this moment. So I'll just try to go there and then see if I can get any of them now.
Awesome. And well, while we do that, let's just go over a couple of things that we did, and let's just do like a big recap on that we did on the past 7 weeks. So, Donna, if your story is ready,
Yep, I'm just sharing my screen now.
awesome. Let me just.
Here we go. There we
Awesome.
have it.
Perfect. So by now we are all familiar with the actual dashboard, and
Uh-oh. Well, there you are. By now, and then you froze.
yes, my computer is tending to do that for the past couple of days. So if that happens, if you don't see me moving my lips or you don't hear anything, that means my computer decided to act up. So like David, like a superhero did last Thursday, he cannot hold the fort. And just it wouldn't be my style if something at some point doesn't
You
freeze.
need to stop reaffirming that.
I know. I can
You are
bring
telling
it
the universe to screw us over.
up.
Stop.
Yeah. You know what? Yes, I have to stop that. But it's also fun. It's also fun because it actually just shows that we are really doing this live.
Yeah.
So let's see. No questions yet. But I know there was a big question last week. And that had to do with analytics. I know that some people ask me, how do we actually add tags to the analytics? And if we can just do with Google tags or the Google 360 suite. Right now, Groovekart is working on making sure that we can actually add that. And I think my answer was that we will get more information. So I believe it was Richard, but I don't remember his last name. But I will get a more in-depth answer for that question. Michael Sabel actually has a question. Yes, Michael, and this is actually a good first question because as you guys know, Donna, can you do me a favor? Can you click on where it says payment information or payment methods? I'm sorry,
Sure.
the very first link.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. So, Michael Sabo actually is asking, I have my store and I will submit a link, but I do have a question. I'm having a problem with my GroovePay. When I get to the pay and submit, it shows that I have an error of an invalid hash field. I will take a look at your store because GroovePay happens to be our own payment processing system. So if you don't mind, Michael, please send me an email to support@groovedigital.com so I can take a look at your hash. Maybe it wasn't set up properly, or it wasn't maybe set up the right way on the processing end, so we can correct that for you. So thank you so much. And also Kai Lam asks, where is an alternate website to sign up a privacy pages for the stores besides FTC? Now, that is a very good question. Donna, do we have any of the resource on that end that we use? Because I know we use FTC.
Yeah. So when it comes to our privacy pages, we choose FTC Guardian. So that's been my go-to for at least 10 years. If anyone asks me, that's the recommendation I'm going to give, FTC Guardian. They are a group of internet professionals that understand internet law and make sure that you stay protected. So setting that aside, I actually cannot recommend someone else because FTC Guardian has been my internet attorney for the last decade. So it's very, very hard for me to recommend other ones, but I can tell you some things not to do. Do not go on the internet and copy someone else's privacy policy. Most of the attorneys that are creating those things, whether they're creating them for a website for you to use or for individuals, have some copy phrases in there that allow them to find people who are violating copyright law. Copying someone else's terms of service and privacy policy on their website is a violation of copyright law. So don't do that. You may be able to find out there some samples that specifically let you copy them. For absolutely everyone on this within earshot of me, if you are in the US, I highly recommend that you use a service like FTC Guardian, someone who knows what they're doing and will keep you and your site protected. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's your legal, and since it's your legal, you want to stay protected. That's not the time to cut corners, is when you're talking about your legal protections.
And I think Donna knows what she's talking about, because you happen to have a law degree, right, Donna?
I do have a law degree.
There you go.
I practiced law in a previous life.
In a previous life, Donna used to be. I cannot imagine.
Seems like 100 years ago now.
But you see, I cannot imagine you in a court room with purple hair.
Yeah, probably not. Probably wouldn't be able to get away with my purple hair if I were still practicing law.
Well, so now I think it was Mike Kai. So now that FTC will be the best bet, and please do not copy any other sites, legal disclaimers or legal documents,
or hire an attorney. I mean, I'm sure places like LegalZoom, services like that, prepaid legal probably. Any legal service, a local attorney, I would find one that actually has some experience in internet law, but definitely go with a professional attorney or service when it comes to preparing your legal documents.
Right. Now, we do have another question from a Facebook user. Unfortunately, I don't have his or her name, but it says, I've tried to migrate my store from Shopify, but it's not working. And I'm thinking it is because it's a paid-for website design. Is this correct? We'd love to install a web page from another store. Now, Facebook user, unfortunately, I don't know your name. The migration will only work for products and certain settings like products, categories, and tags. It will not migrate the full design. We're not there yet as a full integration for Groovekart. But the most important part are your products and your categories. So those should be moved. And also, you do have the option to bring certain other things as well. So if you don't mind, I think David just actually added the support email. Send us an email so we can take a look at your store and make sure that we actually accommodate everything so you can start using your store with your Shopify products.
That was Tina's question, by the way.
Tina. Okay, Tina, thank you very much. Sorry I called you a Facebook user, but I did not
no
see
worries.
the name. And now let's move forward with Joe Vadja says, I'm still having major problems with variants propagating on my store due to the large number of size variables and colors of the customer to input their custom size and color. Joe, I do have a solution for you. And this is something that I use a lot because I sell t-shirts and variables of the lifeline. But what we have to understand as e-commerce owners is like not a lot of selections or not much selections will reflect on a lot of sales. It's important to have certain colors depending on the niche that you're approaching, your market, if you're selling to, let's say, women or men. But the variables that you're using in the store, yes, it can get crazy. If you have one or two designs with 4 different colors plus 4 different uh, variations in size, it will create certain things, especially if you bring them, let's say, from Teespring or Printful. It's just kind of the let's just call the devils of the trade, because you have to find out a good balance for your customers in the amount of colors that you want to offer as well as the amount of sizes, and that's why we recommend to keep it very conservative, so you still have a good and large selection, but your store doesn't get all slow and trying to duplicate the variables. if at some level I make myself clear.
There's a relatively famous study that some of you may have heard of called, I think it's called something like the jam experiment or the grocery jam experiment, where a grocery store, you go grocery shopping and you see they're like showing samples of things, and you can get samples. Well, there was a sample of jams, and they tested whether they had a table where someone could sample 24 jams, and then another sample where it went down to 4 or 6. And what they found was when there were 24 jams present, they didn't sell as much jam as they did when they were only sampling 4 or 6 or whatever it was. The smaller number of choices led to an increase in conversion. So that's interesting. If you're adding a whole lot of colors and sizes, of course you want an array of sizes, but if you're adding too many colors, you may be lowering your conversions. So
Right, Donna, and if we can probably illustrate, that will be great. If I believe that you have an account with Tscape and with Printful, right? So
I do, I think.
so let's just elaborate a little bit on that, because I think it's always good to know, if we show our audience the implications of dealing with a lot of colors, so we can just illustrate that for them. In the meantime, Tina, yes, please do send us an email to support@groovedigital.com so we can take a look at your store. And if we haven't received anything, please just, if we have received it in the past couple of days, please be patient with us. We are coming out of a very long, busy week, because we had a little break on this past Friday for 4th of July. So there were a couple of things that needed to be addressed. So we will be answering a lot of tickets, and we have most of the tickets that were pending, but we're still just rolling with the punches. So while Mrs. Fox opened her Tscape account,
Which I get by going to, should I go to the,
yeah,
that's
you
what I
can
was
actually,
waiting for instructions to. Pardon me.
yeah, you
You
can,
want me to go to products?
or you can just open your Tscape account in another
I don't know.
tab.
Let me see. See if I even have the login, or whether or not you did it for me. Escape.
Oh, actually, and the plot thickens. Joe Badger just kind of just said, sorry, I needed to tell you that the store is for blinds window coverings. So it's being able to input the length and the height of the blinds. So I need an input field for this, so we can customer input the blind dimensions. It's kind of the same, example. So let me let's just elaborate on his question, Donna, if you don't mind. Let's
Sure.
go back to your Groovekart, and let's just go to products. And since we're using your store today as kind of a test again, so let's just go to my products, and let's add a new product. Alrighty. So while that loads, so Joe, thank you very much for the clarification. That will give me a better input on a better context on what I'm about to tell you, and how to be able to do that for you. So let's just click on create a new product, Donna, please.
Yep, it's loading.
Now, Joe, I'm going to need your help on this one, if you don't mind. So you said that a couple of the variables is the length and height of the blinds. Would it be safe to assume that you also have maybe a model or a color? So I need to make sure that we can establish maybe just a parameters. So it would be great if you can help us out, so we can elaborate on your question and make sure that we provide the right answer. So on the product name, Donna, let's just put I don't know, what kind of blinds do we generally have at home? Just like fold out blinds, or I don't know, just of course
They're
everything has to
awesome.
be awesome. Awesome
Lots
blind.
of blinds.
Perfect. Very appropriate. So then let's just pick a category just for a sample. Let's just pick
Watercolor blinds.
perfect watercolor blinds. That's, you know what, that wouldn't be a bad idea, Donna. Now that I think about it,
It'd be pretty, actually, wouldn't it?
it will be kind of cool if you have one of your paintings in the
On
in
blinds.
the blinds.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh, good
we
idea.
should probably sell stickers, and so we count how many blinds you get, and we can send the stickers. Don't give me ideas with e-commerce. So description, let's just put some dummy text in the meantime.
Tags, blinds. That's my tag. Description.
Yeah, just some dummy text.
Some blinds.
And Joe, do you mind sharing maybe 3 or 4 dimensions, like from what dimension to what dimension, so we can give you like a real life example of how your customers might be able to select this?
Matching freaks.
I just click save and next.
Different default.
Remember the default category, you have to select it. Default category, you can just put watercolor. There you go. You see, guys, our system is so smart and it's telling you when you make a mistake to correct it. So we're not going to have any images right now. So you can click save and next. Now here is where we need. Oh, Donna, you see, you remember the training. You know that it goes into pricing and variant. So I'm so glad. So as the first variant type, let's just put size.
Probably length.
Or, well, because yeah, we can do length.
I would think that it would vary by length and width.
Yes, but remember, we want to have the less variables or attributes. So okay, you see, here is what he's talking about. The custom blinds are in 1/8 increments. So this is a case that we might probably have to go with a couple of solutions for this specific case. For example, if we put the variant type size, then the variance will be 24th by 64th. 24.
Spelling size correctly. 24 by 64.
Now let's just do another one. If it's going into 1/8 increments, what will be the maximum? Actually, not needed to create another variant, just in the same one. Just put a comma on it.
I did not know that.
Yep. So let's say 24th by 64th and 1/8, or maybe 66, something like that. I don't know. Just try to figure out a way that Joe can showcase that in the increments or in his settings. So the size will be 24 by 64, 24 by 64th and 1/8. Let's say it would be now 24 by 65 and 1/8.
Well, 64 and a quarter.
Or
I mean, I can immediately see how this is going to get overwhelming.
Exactly. So, and I think that at least while we kind of just present the solution here, it's always good to have this option open. So we have the sizes. You have the custom sizes. I mean, these are the set sizes, I should have said. So you can have a set of certain variables. So now let's just have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 variables. Now let's just go on. Oh, so width are probably 1/8. Length doesn't matter. So Scott can.
Oh, width, not length. Okay. So pretend I put these in the other way around.
Exactly. So the whole point is just trying to illustrate how can this be done using the variants. So now let's just go down to the color. So instead of the second variant that you created, instead of saying size, we just put color. And now the volumes could be the color. Eggshell, white, blue, cream. So now Joe mentioned, yes, I've done all that, but there are so many, it's overwhelming the system. Okay, yeah. So if you have done that and it has overwhelmed the system, I think it's time for us to make sure that we take a look at your store and see exactly how it actually will work if we can have a system that where people can actually just input the actual measurements or the actual length and width.
Yeah.
That is not available yet, but I know that if we request it, maybe if it's in the roadmap for development for developers, they will definitely take a look at that, and it will be a good feature actually.
I do have a suggestion. I mean, if length isn't an issue, you might want to say like width in whole numbers, and then add fractional numbers. So you can do the 1/8, a quarter, 3/8, a half. What's the next one? 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, as an additional variant. So
Right.
people can choose just one, and then the whole inch and apart. That might, two different variant lists might make it easier than trying to put every option in one. And then the other one would be whole numbers: 24 inches, 25 inches, 26 inches.
Right. Yeah, he mentioned that length is an issue as well. So this is a very interesting case, and I think it would require a couple of ingenuity to get it over, and try to just make sure that your customers be able to do that. And somebody said freeform field. Krisha Fox said that that's pretty much what in this case we might need to do. So we can do that, or the other option is instead of using variants, create full products, but it will be a huge task to create a product for each specific blind. So this is something that it is one of those exceptional cases, but we will do our best to make sure that we can overcome it. But let's just finish the example so we can see it how it all works out. So scroll down, Donna, if you don't mind, and then just click generate. And Joe mentioned that he has already all that. So, but maybe generate right in the middle. So this is what happens, guys, when you generate your actual variants. And this is what Joe is saying, that unfortunately in his case he has too many variants and it's kind of overwhelming the whole system. So that's why I mentioned to him that we need to make sure that we produce a solution. So we have to take a look at his specific case. But also it was good in the sense that this could be used in the same case for any variants. And somebody asked, why does it overwhelm the system? It could be many reasons. It could be the amount of results, because you see now Donna just did that and it created maybe 25
created
20 variants out of 4 different variants. So when you have 100 products with different sizes, so it can definitely just overwhelm certain things. But it is a great exercise. So now let's just click save and next, Donna, so we can take a look at the final product. Let's just click save and next for the next 2 steps so we can just show the end result, and let's just publish that so we can see how the variants will show. Maybe a lot of us know how they look like, but maybe some other of the viewers, they haven't seen how the variants work. So let's just save and next, which will be the last step, and then we just click finish. And don't forget to publish. And don't forget to also just display product on website. Yeah, Joe mentioned it ends up being thousands of variants. So, which I believe that, because we were thinking about it. Right, I was thinking about it right now. So, like, yeah, depending on each. So, I think freeform, as Krisha recommended, will be one of the best options. And also, instead of variants, we can probably just put an input that the customer can say, "Hey, I need these blinds of this measure, and maybe the only variant that you will probably use is the color, or maybe the style." So it is an interesting case for us to make sure, and we'll definitely take a look at what are the possibilities. Donna, do you have the product? I see that you opened the product. Let's see. Yep, awesome blinds. So if you click in awesome blinds, of course you see the size and the color. So it looks as simple here, but I know that the way that Joe wants to portray it and wants to present it to his customers might be a little bit more options and different sizes and measurements. So we will definitely have to take a look at.
I mean, when we look at this is 5 different sizes, but it only spans a half an inch difference.
Right.
So if an eighth of an inch is part of the measurements, this could get really voluminous very, very quickly, and then exponentially as you add colors.
Correct. Colors and styles, because he also mentioned that styles.
Yeah.
So, and Krista says that, yeah, definitely, if we have more specific dimensions, say variants, so definitely something that we can uh, definitely just take a look at that. But Joe, so please, you know what? I'm very interested on this. Can you just please send us an email so I can follow up with you and make sure that we can recommend this to our devs, because it's not only a solution for you, but also for other industries that might use exact measurements. So I think it's one of those questions that we're looking for an answer. And as a company, we're going to keep looking for answers for our customers. So, and yeah, like Krisha said, that would be a good project. Definitely. It's something interesting for us to make sure that we serve that purpose to our customers. So definitely looking forward to make sure. What email do I send this to? You can send it to support, but do me a favor, in the subject line, put attention to John Garcia. So I'll get it right away. And now we gonna see how variants work, how this process works. And Joe, thank you for the question. Thank you for the instructions that I mean the information that you need in order to move forward with your business, and we'll do our best to make sure that we can cover the needs. Now, any other questions, Mr. David Lemon? I don't see a lot of questions
So
right
far, there were no other questions at
now.
this
No other
moment.
question.
There is nothing. No.
All right.
Um, there is actually one here from a Facebook user. Can I have a print-on-demand products on a Groovekart site and get them fulfilled automatically and shipped to my client by my photo lab?
I'm sorry. Run that by me again.
Can I have a print-on-demand products on a Groovekart site and get them fulfilled automatically and shipped to my client by my photo lab?
The answer was yes until the last four words of that question, by my photo lab. Groovekart allows for print on demand and fulfillment from some integrated shippers. There might be a manual step for you to have a custom order go in and be printed and shipped on demand from another service that isn't integrated with Groovekart. So I don't know if my photo lab is a service. Is that like a thing, or do you mean your photo lab? I'm not sure which whether that's like saying shipped through.
Yeah, I think I got the same feeling.
Vistaprint versus
I got the same kind of feeling because I was just like my photo lab. I kind of sense that maybe a photo lab, you do photography and maybe you have some things that you want to print on demand, maybe t-shirts, mugs, other products. If that's the case, we will definitely love a little bit more context so we can actually just answer the right way that question. Uh, let's see. In the meantime, hold on. Dwight Antonio Perry. Hey, Dwight, how are you? We will be getting more themes. I believe we do. We are going to get, but also not only the themes, but uh, for an advanced class that I'm planning to do, maybe when we get a little break of the challenges, we are experiencing with certain things, and that is the CSS. So you can do a lot of stuff within your current card if you know how to do certain things with CSS. I know CSS is, of course, a language that you use to modify certain things in your site, but we are just using that. And I've been working a lot with CSS scripting, and just with a matter of a couple of codes, a couple of lines, you can make a lot of difference in the way that your card will look like. So I'll definitely share that in a couple of weeks, and maybe one of the in the next class we can touch on that as well. So Dwight, yes, we're gonna have more. I know there's gonna be more themes and there's gonna be more flexibility in certain things, but also we want to make sure that our users are feeling comfortable with using the current tools that we have, like the CSS embedded code, and all that stuff to enhance the beautifulness of the sites, or the presence of the sites, you would say. I don't know what I say, beautifulness. Sorry. Uh, Now, do you think Eprola will come to Groovekart? Ryan Jorata, I'm sorry. Do you think that Ebrola, Ryan? I am not sure what Ebrola is. I will definitely love some insight as well on that, so we can just make sure. But at the moment, just by the name, I know that we might not have anything on the roadmap for integration. We know now that Printful is working with us in a good extent, where we have now a very solid relationship with them, and it's improving day by day because they notice that a lot of people are going into Groovekart and just signing in Printful. So the more users we have in Printful, the more impact we're going to make, and the easier things will get for us as a company to get to that, one double way, two ways kind of fulfillment that we're looking for. So guys, it's thanks to you that companies like Printful are looking at us. So don't forget, get your API. If you do print on demand, get your API with Printful. Try them. I know they had certain limitations with the COVID, with the whole pandemic, but they're coming out of it. And as part of the news, we recently got announced that uh, they're working in Australia. So they're opening a manufacturing place in Australia. And I'm sorry, I think one of my beautiful kids just walked in, and
I saw the top of their head.
He scared the bejesus out of me. I was like, "What is that in the camera?" And I just realized when I turned in. Sorry about that, guys. Um, but yeah, so Printful right now is working with Australia. They're having their own manufacturing uh, fulfillment center there in Australia. So take advantage of that as well. Discover new markets. That is what it's all about. E-commerce offers that opportunity with companies like Printful, that when they surprise their user base, like saying, "Hey guys, right now we're going to have a distribution center in Australia." Guess what? A whole new market open for you. So think about that. Yay, Australia, Facebook user. Safe to assume Australians in the house. Okay, so who's
So I want to take Kisha's question next. She's asking about the print-on-demand service providers that are integrated. So I'm on the screen for where she would go to find the products to see what's integrated. So I will just scroll through these and we can talk about them if you'd like. I have way too many windows open on my desktop, so it takes me a couple of minutes to get back to the right place. Here we go. All right. So we can see Layer App is our technology that we can drag your own patterns onto apparel. So it's pretty cool. Layer App even does things like high-heeled shoes and sneakers and boots and stuff. It's pretty awesome. Ali Connect is drop shipping, not print on demand. So there are two different things. Print on demand is your own design that you want printed on an item. On demand means as someone buys it. So it doesn't get printed. There's no inventory sitting somewhere. Just as someone buys it, then the printing happens and it gets shipped out. Versus drop shipping, like Ali Connect is a drop shipper, which means they have an inventory of stuff and they will mail it out on your behalf. So that's the difference between print on demand and drop ship. And these are the apps that we have available to you. So you can find those by going under products and then find products in your interface. The other question, let's go back to Karen's question about My Photo Lab. She actually means, so the confusion is My Photo Lab is actually the name of an app. I looked it up while we were trying to wait for Karen, but she really means the photo lab that she uses. So this is another case of an artist where there's an artist that's creating a product. So let's take a look at my product, my original product. So we've got this beach lady painting. If John, I had paintings sitting somewhere or someone printing them for me that wasn't one of the integrated shoppers, how would I send them, or integrated services, how would I send them information about an order that came in so that they could fulfill from somewhere else?
I'm sorry. I was actually reading a couple of questions, and you're gonna caught me off guard.
No worries. So John, let's imagine that I have a stack of my paintings, my beach lady paintings, sitting in some fulfillment house somewhere. How would I get order information that came in for my new orders to that fulfillment house so that they could ship out the order?
That actually happens automatically. If you have, let's say, products like Inkscape or Printful or even
Right.
AliExpress,
I'm
all you
asking for
do.
not those products though.
Oh, for not those
Not those. So
products.
they're sitting somewhere. Let's say they're in my warehouse that I own somewhere. So not something that we have an integration for.
Correct. So if you have products like that, what you need to do is complete the process manually. So an order will come in, you will take a look at the order, you will say, let me check if my product hasn't sold. You go to your little warehouse, you said, hey, I got the picture, so you can reply back to the customer, order is fulfilled. Here's your tracking number because you have probably at that moment packed your painting and ship it out. And but you have to do it manually. So I believe that it will go under orders. And thank you, you were reading my mind. I was about to ask you to go there to orders and then to my orders. And let me see, do we have any test orders in your account? Yeah, we have a couple of them. So this is the order screen where you see all your orders. So let's take a look at the little eye on the icon and the first order. You see, it says that payment accepted via PayPal for Mr. D something.
For Mr. Completely Made Up Name.
Yeah. So as you can see, the top of the form, if you scroll back up for a second, Nona. So you see it says the order number, the product that it was ordered, and then it says payment accepted. So that is pretty much the first thing that you need to check. You need to make sure that you got the money. If you haven't got the money, don't process the order, especially when it comes to manual orders. Now you see that there's a drop down that says payment accepted, right?
There's a drop down.
Yeah, right under payment accepted, there's a small
Oh,
drop down.
here. Yeah, I see it.
There you go. So you see the options is canceled, delivered, process in progress, refunded, or shipped. In this case, since you already contacted your small warehouse or you probably went to your garage and said, hey, I have the painting here, let me roll it up, put it in a tube, and send it to the customer. So you can just go in there, click shipped, and then update the status. Then from there, the customer, of course, will get an email and say, hey, your order has been shipped. Thank you very much. So you can update that as well directly from the order page. Now you see there if you have the payment information, and now it says you see how it changes from payment accepted to shipped, and you have the option to resend the email. So you can
Yep.
do that to the customer, and you can say, hey, your order has been shipped. Thank you very much. And if you have an order note right there for you, let's say shipped on this day, uh, and this is actually for your information. So order note, I shipped this, let's say July 9th, and I use USPS with the tracking number. So you know what you did because you don't have an automation system in this case, so you can keep track of that within the platform.
So this is what I meant by a manual process.
Yep.
Um, when an order comes in, does that trigger an email to me that says you have a new order, or do I have to come back every time to see them?
No, you get an email on the email that you actually entered your store. And if you click on the top burger icon on the three little lines on the top right, you'll see something called notifications.
I will.
They're right there. I can barely see your screen, but it says go to store, clear cache, partner with us, register, support. Oh, where is the little icon that says notifications?
Not here.
Oh, it's not there on that list.
Maybe it's moved.
We probably moved it, and
I'm going to click on settings because that's the first place I always look.
I believe, yeah, and usually you get an email. So you do get an email once an order comes in, but also you get a notification once you log into the store, and it will be on the right on the dashboard.
So in your case, Karen, you would get the email and then forward it to your photo lab so that they could ship the information.
Correct. So you can just share that email, say, hey, I got an order. This is what I need for you guys to pack up and shipped. And they will share the order information with you, and they will provide you with a tracking number if they do the packing and all the other part of fulfillment. A Facebook user, oh, I'm sorry, Donna, are we kind of clear on the subject?
Well, I'm trying to open what I think is the mail editor. So that's what's spinning right here.
Okay. So let's just...
what I think is the mail editor. So I went to settings, and one of the settings across the top said emails. So that's what we're waiting to open.
Yeah, the emails is just also, you can configure there all your the 3-step process for the abandoned cart and all the corporate emails that you want to send out, for example, with information. So when an order gets received, you send that email automatically, or when anything else is, it needs to be somehow automated. So the emails can be created from there. And
it's spending too much time spinning, so I'm going to refresh.
Yep, there it is. It's just... once you do that, it kind of just goes in. So then you see contact form, digital products, email forward, and then of course all the other settings that we have. It's okay. And guest to customer, you see if you have, but that's weird how it's showing half the little bit on the store, but not the rest. Okay. Guest to customer, cancellation of order. As you can see, you see notification about tracking number. So all those emails are there, and you can customize and change them. When let's say that customer try to pay with a credit card and they get a payment error, you can customize the message. Chipped order, you can customize the message. So it is quite robust when it comes to communications with customers. You do have a lot of options.
I don't know why the top of the store isn't loading, but
it's one of those crazy things that he's just doing. I don't know why he's doing that, but now we know where we can update and edit the emails.
That's right. So it was under settings, and then one of the
I think it was email.
See now. One of said emails. So it said emails.
Yeah, it said emails. So all right. So now let's just... we have another question. Somebody says, Paulo Hake, says, I have a website with old code from a couple of years ago. Is there a way to use all the code to bid onto Groove, or is it that not the right approach? Paulo, that's a great question, because you have no idea how many times I get asked that in a daily basis. And my answer is definitely not. Why not? Because when we try to include certain specific code in Groovekart, it might slow certain things. It might create certain errors that we don't want in your store. For example, if you have a JavaScript in that old code, we don't know how that JavaScript might react when you embed the code. So the best way is to compare the code. If you have a website that you have that code stored somewhere, so you can take a look at graphically how the store looks like, and then try to match it using our visual editor. And I mean, from a year ago where we didn't have the visual editor to now up to a couple of weeks ago, our editor has changed in a great degree, to the point of viability for our customers to be more creative. So you can drag and drop elements, you can create backgrounds, you can create different ways to showcase your product. So you definitely have a lot of abilities to create that based on the code that you used to have for your old store. So not recommended to drop in the code, but recommended to compare it and add it manually and create it. I know it will require a couple of hours of tweaking and dragging and dropping, but it will be worth in the long run, because you're going to be doing with something native, with something that is actually supposed to be doing that, instead of adding extra code that might generate issues down the road. Hope that is actually address your question. Oh, Ryan, thank you. I asked earlier about Ebrolo, and Ryan Gerata said Ebrolo is a dropshipping company that gathers the top products for you and ship it for you. instead of dealing with hundreds of vendors, you just deal with one platform. Oh, awesome. So, you know what? That's another thing for us to annotate and see what are the requirements. What can we do to give more offers and give more um, specific solutions, third party solutions to our customers. Again,
I do have some good news for our Groovekart users. We are hiring new developers, and we actually just hired a whole pack of new developers. Um, Literally a pack of developers. At some point, we have 20 new developers joining the Groove team as of this week. So super, super exciting. And I believe 4 of the 20 are dedicated to Groovekart.
that
So
is awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Donut shared the news earlier, and I couldn't be more ecstatic because Groovekart is very dear to my heart. I have seen it since he was pretty much a baby. I see the first lines of code. So it is great to see that the company is looking at the big picture with Groovekart as well. And it only means one thing for our users: more options, more opportunities to make and use the platform to do what they need to do with their stores. So it is great news. And we're going to be looking at more growth in the next couple of months when it comes to the usage of Groovekart. So very excited to hear that, Donna. Thank you. And it only means one thing for customers: more opportunities. That's all that I gotta say on that end. Now, David Rhodes asks, can you add another such as CJ dropshipping with their app? So how would you do that? David, at the moment, we don't have something called an open API. So it's quite not complicated, but is a little bit complex just to add apps to the actual Groovekart. We are going to have that ability very soon, especially with the news that I just got from Donna, because we're looking for that. We're looking to other interactions with other applications. Yes, it will take some time, but I know that Mike a couple of months ago mentioned something with CJ dropshipping,
mhm.
and I know he's one of the biggest ones right now out there in Asia. So, Donna, do you know something more specific about CJ dropshipping? I don't want to say something that I might not be through.
I
So,
don't when it comes to the Groovekart integrations, but I was just empowered today on the Groove funnel side of things to create a priority list when it comes to integrations over on the Groove funnels side of things. And I would like to push a similar thing along for Groovekart. I think we need some more integrations. So now's the time to kind of start gathering that information when it comes to Groove funnels so that we
exactly.
can get some new added.
And you know what, guys? I am going to drop a link on the chat right now or on the live. I'm gonna just hunt for it really quickly because it is one thing when we said it on the meetings, but it is a whole different opportunity for us to feel more empowered if our customers request and ask for that specific functionality. So
Very true.
I am going to do something here. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to copy it here in our live. Let me see if I did it right. Let me see. I believe I did. So take a look at the comments, and that link is actually our request hotline, if you call it that way, in Canny. Canny, we use a third party software called Canny, and that's where we actually gather all the requests for possible integration. So if you guys have specific needs or specific wants, you can do that there. It actually goes by vote. So you actually have the right to vote on certain things. Have in mind one little principle: it will go on the well being of the community. I know we have cases in the past that, oh, yeah, I want to integrate it with Oberlo, for example, but only one person like Oberlo. So it is quite hard to push Oberlo within the team. So we need to make sure that in kind of in a democratic way, we all go towards the same goals to have certain platforms that are really being used by all of our customers. So have that in mind. Not saying that it's not going to happen, not saying that it's going to happen, but it does have a process. So we need to be really mindful of that before we actually request something. Um, Now, let's see any other question. Wow, that's epic growth for the company. Yes, Ryan, thank you very much. We know we're growing, and we're growing with our customers, and we're growing for our customers as well. That's why we do these things. We kind of get one on one with our customers, or I should say, one with hundreds in these kind of lives. But this is the fun part. I think Donna and I share the same passion for working and communicating with our customers. So I think that's why she actually did this 8 weeks training with me.
It
And
really is an area I feel strongly about. Working directly with I'm the CMO of the company. I run the entire marketing team of the company. It's very rare that you have a CMO of a company, especially a company our size, that gets involved in details like this, that spends time in the Facebook group, that spends time on webinars. John is the head of our support team. We are both the highest level in our departments, managing the whole team in our departments. Ordinarily, we aren't the kind of people, I feel snobby even saying this, but like ordinarily, that's not the job titles that would be doing webinars. We're here because we know that it is important to have that line of communication between our customers and our departments. So yeah, we both feel very, very strongly too about being able to connect with you personally, and that's why we do these webinars.
Hold on, I got a question that I was paying attention. Sorry, Donna is
The
completely right.
login.
Yeah, I was taking a look at that. I'm gonna start just pushing buttons here to see if I can contact somebody to take a look at. But Donna's completely right, and as she said, we here in the company, and I say we, not us people, the 1% of the company, uh,
I know.
we do actually wear a lot of hats because we love what we do, and as we grow with our customers. I have been in contact with a lot of people that are here present in this live, and they know our struggles, but they also know our victories, and that is the cool part. And it is all a growing process for everybody because we're growing as a company. You're growing with us as one of our customers that will get benefited with all the stuff that we're doing, newer integrations, newer functions, uh, the ability to see a lot of changes within our platform. And I know a couple of people that are here today, they have seen that transformation because, believe me, especially for the new people that just joined us recently, this was not the graphical interface that we have. This is actually a whole work of art compared to what it was before. Not saying that it was ugly or not functional, but it has been upgraded. It has been upgraded because of the same reason that we're pushing every day. Make sure that we offer the best product possible. Now, let's say somebody asked, I sent the support canal again as well. So, David, I will take a look at that in a second. We will take a look at the issue that we're having with logins. As a matter of fact, if you see me distracted, it's because I'm taking a look at a lot of stuff right now. But we're gonna just make sure that that gets addressed. It's probably just our friends
I
at
was
Google.
able to log into my store without any.
And yeah, let me just take a
Yeah.
look at mine too. Uh,
Francis says we're wearing too many hats.
oh yeah, Francis, we all know that.
We absolutely are, and in fact, that is a factor in startups, especially. I mean, there was a time when I first got started with this company in January where the marketing team consisted of Mike Fulsame and me.
Right.
December and January of this year. Today, I made arrangements to hire 5 more people on just the marketing side of things. And like I said earlier, we have 20 new people coming in devs and supports. So in dev, and we also have people being added to our support team. They're being trained and added now. So our company is experiencing tremendous growth, and hopefully that means Francis will be wearing a few less hats, but it not for a while, I don't think. And it's because we know that it's our job to be, we're on the front lines. It's like we call it, I know it's a war metaphor and I hate war metaphors. I try not to use them, but it's an accurate one. We're the people that are out there on the front lines with the customers.
Right.
We go back to the dev team and to our bosses and the leadership and say, this is what our customers need. This is what our customers want. We do that all the time. David is constantly making suggestions, and because he's there as your community manager, and it's, he's really the first person that brings stuff to my attention and to John's attention and says, this is happening. This is what our customers are saying. John does it all the time in terms of the, support teams. He reaches out to me and says, our customers are finding this confusing from a marketing perspective, or they're asking for this feature from a development perspective. That's our job. That's what we're doing. And that's why we do these webinars. So.
Exactly. I mean, as always, Donna couldn't have said it. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. And Donna and I, we go sometimes just speaking for days about how we can improve processes, how we can improve your experience. And that's why she was my first victim. I'm sorry, the first showcase on this process that we're kind of wrapping up today. Because we understand that in order for us to make something greater, we have to start somewhere. And that somewhere was within our team. So like, hey, we run it out. So like, okay, you know what? It would be good to have an experience from somebody within our team to make sure that we deliver the message. And I hope that we have done that in the past 7 weeks. And next week we'll do the final wrap up. That's why we're doing the QA today, trying to clear out a couple of questions. But we're gonna keep doing it. That's the most important part. And I'm saying this because a lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, you guys will never just be like our competitors. You'll never be as big." We don't know that, but we are for sure making a stride, because a lot of people are saying, "Hey, I'm switching to Groovekart. Oh, I'm switching to this. I'm switching to that." Not because our competitors are bigger than us, but because the functionality and the new changes that we're putting into the industry. We're gonna be the only platform with 8 or 9 tools with a single login, right, Donna? That's what we're aiming for.
That's what we're aiming for. I want to borrow from a popular car rental company, Avis. Their logo is, we're number 2, so we try harder. That's what their motto is. No, we're not the best, so we try harder. And we welcome any comparison that you can possibly make between us and our competition, because if we don't stack up, we call those goals.
Right, exactly. And guys, if you still have a little bit of an issue just logging in, do me a favor, bombard me with your email at support@groove.digital so we can take a look, and I can just make sure that we take a look at the issue. This is how serious we are taking all this stuff. We want to make sure that we provide world-class service. So don't take time, just don't wait. I know we're in the webinar, but just please let us know so we can make sure and we can take a look at the stores and we can make sure we get this done for you. So also, that is great. David says, that is great that you will still be doing it. I need it for sure. I have learned more with you 3 than anything that I have done online for sure. Thumbs up. David, thank you. This is the reason why we do it. And I still remember like maybe a year and a half ago, when Michael called me and said, "Hey, John, I need you to do me a favor. I don't know how big you have your experiences with webinars, but do you mind just doing the webinar for us?" And it was just a call on a Wednesday afternoon. Say like, "Hey man, I know you're new in the company. I know you're heading support. I know you have a lot of things to do, but what do you think? Do you think you're
here, do this too?"
They're like, "And here, you're gonna do this too." And you know what? It has in reality changed my life in a way, because I'm a very introverted person. I used to do presentations for big corporations. I used to work in a Fortune 500 company, and you need to deal with directors, vice presidents, CEOs, but it's a whole different ballgame because you are going to one thing. By us taking this, and I'm including you, Donna, because in reality, something that we do out of love, because in reality, it's something because we love the company to the point that we take this time to do this with you guys, make sure that you learn the process, that you understand our products, than just probably hang out with our families, because it is at some point a sacrifice that we love doing, because we understand that is needed for you guys to grow with us. So this is one of those points that, David, I appreciate certainly the comment, and we're gonna keep doing it. And I'm just having fun with it. When Mike told me, "Hey, do it," I said like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna take the challenge," because it has helped me growth personally and professionally, and I enjoy doing it. And some funny story. Uh, the other day, I was actually at a local grocery store here in Florida, in Hollywood, and I was on the line talking to my wife about the store. And this is actually, we're both wearing the masks. And this is funny because when I said Groovekart, somebody just turned around and said like, "You know Groovekart?" I go, "Yeah." So like, "Do you own a store?" I'm like, "No, I work for them." It ended up being somebody that owns a store here in Florida.
That's
Margaret.
awesome.
So Margaret, if you are, I don't know if you're here, but Margaret actually owns a store here, and I'll probably just give it a shout out. But it is one of those things that, oh shit, I'm famous. Oh, sorry, pardon my French, but it's one of those things. Uh, so we're making a difference, and we do this out of love. So and it's good. So let's see what other questions we have. Terry Blakeslee says, "Can you explain what it's involved in integrating with a company? For example, why has taken so long to integrate with a jewelry drop shipper? Can't think of their name." Yes, I know what you're looking for. Is called Shinon. And
Mhm.
let me tell you the stages of integration, because in order for us to integrate with a company, there's first the negotiation. We have to make sure that it makes sense for them and for us, for because we have to secure certain orders amounts. We have to make sure that we fulfill those orders, that they actually, that we get those orders, and then of course negotiate pricing to make sure that we can give you the best pricing possible on your behalf, of course, in the products. Then it goes the development phase. We have to make sure that the products can be integrated, that the products can actually be addressed, that you have the right variables, that you can do all that stuff. And the final step is the testing. And unfortunately, with China, I know that there were a lot of things that were discussed in the early stages, but I am not 100% sure why it did not conclude at that stage. I don't know what happened with the negotiations. Unfortunately, that is above my pay grade, and I wouldn't dare to even venture to say something that might be completely wrong. So I will definitely find out for you, Terry, what those kind of take to get to that point to finalize a negotiation with a company like China. But we'll get there. And if it's not with China, maybe it's with some other company. And I know that Printful, for example, does jewelry, and they were doing that big time because they had the production closed for the T-shirts and for some of the products. So explore the venues that we have inside of the platform, so we can just give you a couple of other opportunities and options.
I also think that we did, I'll say it publicly, I believe that we did Groovekart users a disservice, because when we started to promote Groove funnels and Groove pages and everyone was getting exciting and it was the new product, we pulled developers off of Groovekart development because we were getting so many squeaky wheels over on the Groove funnels side. And that's why we're hiring new developers and getting more people on Groovekart, because for a minute there, Groovekart was a little neglected. I'm sorry. I know it happened. It happened because the juggernaut that is Groove Funnels came along. We have plans on rolling Groovekart into Groove Funnels, so there's a lot of shift happening right now on the Groovekart side, and I think that means that it's not getting the attention that it really does deserve. And so excited to see that we're bringing on some new devs to help in the Groovekart world.
And let me translate that for all of you guys out there, guys and gals. It's going to translate in more fun, better functionality, better structure for your online business, more opportunities, and pretty much everything in between. So it will only translate to better stuff from us to you guys, because one thing, like everybody else says, with or without our customers, we're nothing. So that's the most important part. And let me see. Geoff Wells asks, "Is there any way to add products from a third-party dropshipper?" Jeff, yes, we were discussing just about that. That unfortunately the integrations might take some time, but I just dropped the link so that you can actually mention that drop shipper, which is Doba. I have heard of Doba, never used them, and I know there's a ton of opportunities and options out there. But I'm gonna make a point. Remember, when you have an opportunity to do drop shipping, try to focus in one niche. And I think I discussed this heavily in the very first time we did a series of a class, I should say. It's important that whenever you have a store, you focus in one thing first. That first product that will make the difference. That first niche, however you want to say it, that will make the difference for you. So, and I know that we as a company, and I'm the first one to say this, with our customers, stop chasing the shiny object syndrome. That when we see another manufacturer, another drop shipper come to life, or another company saying, hey, we can do this, if we follow and try to accommodate everybody, maybe we'll be doing a disservice. Maybe we're not looking for expansion, but just to retraction, because we want to make sure that we provide the right product for everybody, but also just giving the opportunity to all of us. So think about that when you want to integrate certain products with a third party. Maybe you're competing with yourself, because when you have drop shipper services that you have paid, let's say with Doba, Oberlo, and all that stuff, find out the pricing. Think about that. Just make sure that if you want to select one of those, you select the right one for your industry and for your niche and what you're pursuing. Um, let's see it. Any other question? It would be awesome to have. Oh, Dwight, as Donna, do you mind if I take this one? I know you were about to
Go
say
for it.
something.
Mhm.
It would be awesome to have more customization in the menu and top banner area, like the mega menu, logo size, and colors and more. Dwight, I believe that's coming, but also that is what I was talking about earlier with the CSS. I've been experiencing certain things with the CSS, and I found a couple of very cool tips that I'm going to be sharing soon. That just with a very few modifications, you can make a whole look different, a whole different outlook for your website, for your front page, and your pages in general in Groovekart. Now, Donna, I'm sorry. I know you were about to say something else, but I interrupted you.
Sure. First, I want to tell Robert that it is working now that you're confirmed with StreamYard. We can see your name. So that's awesome. I also wanted to point out that the place to ask for anything that you need when it comes to Groovekart is this site, the Groovekart canning.io feature request portal. Just mentioning it inside the group or as a comment to here means it could get lost in the shuffle. The best place to go is to visit that link that David just dropped in, add your feature request, but don't stop there. Don't stop there, because that is like shouting into a forest and no one is going to hear it. Not only put your feature request in there, but then go back to the Facebook group and say, hey guys, I just added this feature and I would love it if you could vote it up if you'd like this feature in Groovekart. Because we take those votes very seriously. And when we start to look for, in fact, when I go in to make that priority integrations list that I'm going to do, not just for Groove Funnels, but also for Groovekart, and create a list of, as you to our devs, as you're tackling integrations, because with new devs, they're going to be able to dedicate more time into creating integrations, and I'm probably letting the cat out of the bag a little bit early, but on the call earlier today, I have a whole list by dates of new features that are rolling out in GrooveFunnels. And one of those was a promise to get basically a new integration every week. So on the GrooveFunnels side, I feel like we should be able to get something very similar to that on the Groovekart side fairly soon. So the way to get those integrations that you're looking for new drop shippers and new options is to get them right there into that feature request list. And get them voted up so that you tell me what priority is. I'm going to set the priorities for the devs, but where do you think I get those from? I get those from you guys.
Right, and most of us that are following the group, you will see that group pages comes a lot and group funnels. If any of us right now here present don't have a group funnels account, remember, you can get the group funnels account for free. So don't forget that. There's a bunch of links that if you go to group funnels, and I might be playing the devil's advocate, and I know that if Tom is still here, he will appreciate the fact that I'm just mentioning group funnels because he does a great, he does an amazing job on Tuesdays with the group funnels team. So do not miss that, guys. Please, if you see the interaction that Tom has with his audience, it's amazing, and he's promoting a product, and he's training you on the product. And if you don't have the account, get the free account. Go to, I believe it's groovefunnels.com. Get the free account, try it, because guess what? You're gonna have another reason to try the more complete suite. So just do that, and you won't regret it. That's all that I'm gonna say. Even though I'm playing the devil's advocate, but I mean, in both ends of the fence, literally.
Robert Frommer just said he met me 15 years ago at a Michael Penlin event. Oh my goodness. Thanks for remembering. I certainly do not remember that because I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. But
Wow.
Awesome to see that you're still in the game, and how exciting. And oddly, Michael Penlin just reached out to me this morning. I had a message from him in the Facebook group. He and I don't talk very often, so it's probably been a couple of years. So how cool that I just got a message from him, and Robert met me there 15 years ago. It's a small world.
A blast from the past, huh?
That's right.
And I'm going to address a question that I was actually just scrolling here and I saw it. Tony Plus says something about, I receive payments on Pioneer, but my local banking commission rates are huge. A Groove develop a card will be amazing. Don't give us ideas. Because
not only don't give us ideas, we've had those ideas. This is coming. It is happening.
So that and you know what? We understand the needs in each geographical area of the world. And it is dear to my heart, of course, my people, my Hispanics, my Latinos, my blood. We're coming for you, and I know that maybe Mike, if he sees this recording, he'll appreciate this. We are going big in Brazil with a couple of partners, I believe. Donna, you can probably just you're well informed on that end as well. And I know for a fact the next step is Latin America, and the next step is actually some countries in Latin America. So wait for us because we're gonna be there, and of course we're gonna have the payment options. We're gonna have a lot of stuff that I know we're gonna bring a lot of Latino entrepreneurs out of where they are to join us in Groovekart. So Tony, we're not forgetting you. We're not forgetting the other parts of the world. So wait for us. We'll be there. Let's see if we have any other questions. Thanks, Facebook user. So common with a startup company. I worked with one for 12 years. Oh yeah, we know the pains, but we it will be awesome to have more customization. Yep, Dwight, I think I addressed that. Let's see. We have one last question. Right now it's 7:30, and I know most of us we want to go eat, and we don't want to pass the time. We're very respectful of that. So let's see. Yes, Latinos rule. Yeah, hey, come on.
We're very, very happy. We have some Brazilian partners joining us.
Yeah, so. And remember, again, it's opportunities for all of us because, as just Christine K said, yes, Brazil, hey, more opportunities for us to grow as entrepreneurs, to grow as store owners, and use the other tools. Imagine, let's say in a couple of weeks, Christine Case is creating her own Groove pages to actually just create some nice artwork or to have another service that she can probably explore or sell. So use the resources, use the platform. Antonio, and I know it's 12:30 over there in the UK, so we appreciate the time. And I know most of us connect from different parts of the world. So thank you for the time, guys. And I don't know, guys. I don't know about you, Donna. Do we have any other questions? Any other comments? David, anything else that we could probably need to address before we wrap up?
I don't see any others. I was just trying to scroll back up.
Ooh, Scott Kane, he just mentioned, I am in Colombia. Well, Scott, do me a favor tonight before you go to bed. Get a glass of aguardiente for me, because I know you'll be drinking a lot of that stuff on the weekend.
There was one question at the beginning. I don't remember you answering those guys. There was a Facebook user asking Shopify offers their clients privacy policy statements for their customers to use. Could GrooveFunnels, Groovekart do the same?
I bet we could. I don't know. I don't know if it's been discussed, but it will be now.
Yeah, this is what happens when you ask a question in a live session. Now it will be definitely a point of discussion for further meetings with the whole team and see what options we have for our customers.
In fact, I am right now running to, I have a Trello board with the company attorney, and I am going to add a card in to discuss terms of service that our users can use. Discuss licensing terms of service from them.
All right. So thanks you for that. And with that said, guys, I want to thank you personally for being with us for the past 7 weeks. We're gonna about to wrap up. So next week we're gonna present a couple more things. We're gonna do another session of QA, and of course we're gonna present our winner. So don't forget to vote. Let's just share that again. Let me just see if I can go back in my presentation. Of course not. I just closed it accidentally. David, can I show my screen? I mean, this thing is still okay. Show screen. Oh, I just canceled my screen. Not a good move. All right. Now, so perfect. So don't forget to go to the link, David. If you don't mind copying and pasting it again. So please, 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 please send us your links. Show us your stuff, and who knows? Maybe you're the winner. So, guys, with that said, David, Donna, thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Have a great time. Great week.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations, everyone. And I can't wait for us to pick the winner. That'll be so much fun.
Yes. And again, Christine, we'll see you in 2 weeks. So be ready, get excited because we're going to have fun. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
See you. Bye-bye.